Achieving lasting peace in the region, a complex challenge. The notion of peace in the region seems elusive, regardless of whether a one-state or two-state solution is pursued. Continuous conflicts between Palestinians and Israelis persist, fueled by deep-seated grievances and political complexities. Prime Minister Netanyahu's efforts to address Israel's security concerns are acknowledged, yet the prospect of eradicating every Palestinian as a solution is untenable. The region's enmity towards Israel complicates matters further, rendering nuclear options infeasible. A pragmatic approach, rooted in economic cooperation and mutual respect among all stakeholders, holds promise. However, extremist factions within Netanyahu's right-wing camp, driven by the vision of Greater Israel, pose a significant obstacle to progress. Likewise, groups like Hamas must shoulder responsibility for obstructing peace initiatives. The crux of the issue lies in human greed, with both sides perpetuating conflict while relying on Western aid. Redirecting financial assistance towards Palestinian infrastructure, agriculture, and industry could foster self-reliance and stability. Ultimately, lasting peace hinges on transcending ideological barriers and prioritizing the well-being of all inhabitants in the region. The pursuit of peace in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, an analytical perspective. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict stands as one of the most enduring and contentious disputes in modern history, rooted in complex historical, political, and socio-cultural dynamics. Despite numerous attempts at resolution, the quest for lasting peace remains elusive. This essay seeks to analyze the historical context of the conflict, highlight key developments, and offer insights into current challenges and opportunities for peace. Historical context. The roots of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict can be traced back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, marked by competing claims to the land of historic Palestine by Jewish and Arab populations. The establishment of the State of Israel in 1948, amidst widespread Arab opposition, led to the displacement of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, setting the stage for decades of conflict. Subsequent wars, including the Six-Day War of 1967 and the Yom Kippur War of 1973, further entrenched hostilities and deepened divisions. The occupation of Palestinian territories by Israel, the growth of Israeli settlements in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, and the rise of Palestinian nationalist movements, notably the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, and Hamas, have all contributed to the protracted nature of the conflict. Key developments. Numerous peace initiatives have been pursued over the years, with varying degrees of success. The Oslo Accords of 1993 represented a significant breakthrough, facilitating the establishment of the Palestinian Authority and laying the groundwork for Palestinian self-governance. However, subsequent negotiations faltered, hampered by mutual distrust, violence, and competing territorial claims. The Camp David Summit of 2000 and the subsequent Taba Summit offered glimpses of hope for a comprehensive peace agreement, but ultimately ended in deadlock. The construction of the Israeli West Bank barrier, deemed by Israel as a security measure and by Palestinians as a land grab, further complicated prospects for a two-state solution. Efforts by the international community, including the United Nations and the United States, to broker peace have faced numerous obstacles, including the reluctance of parties to compromise on core issues such as borders, refugees, and Jerusalem. Actual developments. As of the present, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains mired in deadlock, with periodic outbreaks of violence exacerbating tensions and further entrenching distrust. Recent developments, including the normalization agreements between Israel and several Arab states, known as the Abraham Accords, represent a significant shift in regional dynamics but fall short of addressing the core issues at the heart of the Israeli-Palestinian dispute. The annexation of Palestinian territories by Israel and the ongoing expansion of Israeli settlements continue to undermine prospects for a viable Palestinian state. Meanwhile, internal divisions within Palestinian leadership, between the Fatah-led Palestinian Authority and the Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip, further complicate efforts at unity and negotiation. Challenges and opportunities. The path to peace in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is fraught with challenges, yet opportunities for progress persist. A comprehensive and inclusive approach, grounded in respect for international law, human rights, and mutual recognition, is essential. This necessitates meaningful dialogue, confidence-building measures, and a commitment to address the legitimate grievances of both Israelis and Palestinians. Economic development, security cooperation, and grassroots initiatives aimed at fostering understanding and reconciliation can complement diplomatic efforts and build momentum towards a sustainable peace. Regional actors, including Arab states and international stakeholders, must play a constructive role in facilitating dialogue and supporting efforts to bridge the divide. Conclusion. In conclusion, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains a deeply entrenched and complex issue, shaped by historical grievances, political rivalries, and competing narratives. While the road to peace is fraught with challenges, the pursuit of a just and lasting resolution remains imperative. By learning from past failures, engaging in sincere dialogue, and addressing the root causes of the conflict, Israelis and Palestinians can chart a path towards a future of coexistence, dignity, and security for all. What would be an acceptable resolution for the Israelis and the Palestinians in order to achieve a lasting peace? Achieving a lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians requires a comprehensive and equitable resolution that addresses the core grievances of both sides. While the specifics may vary, a potential framework for resolution could include the following elements. Two-state solution: the establishment of an independent and viable Palestinian state alongside Israel, based on the pre-1967 borders with mutually agreed land swaps. This would allow Palestinians to exercise self-determination and sovereignty over their own territory, while ensuring Israel's security and territorial integrity. Jerusalem: a negotiated settlement on the status of Jerusalem, ensuring that both Israelis and Palestinians have access to their respective religious and cultural sites in the city. Jerusalem could serve as the capital of both Israel and Palestine, with arrangements in place to guarantee freedom of worship and administration for all residents. Borders and settlements: clear delineation of borders between Israel and Palestine, with a freeze on Israeli settlement expansion in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Existing settlements deemed illegal under international law should be dismantled or incorporated into Israel through land swaps, in accordance with negotiated agreements. Security: robust security arrangements to address Israel's legitimate security concerns while respecting the rights and dignity of Palestinians. This may include demilitarization of the Palestinian state, international monitoring mechanisms, and cooperative security measures to prevent violence and terrorism. Refugees: a just and mutually acceptable resolution to the issue of Palestinian refugees, based on the principles of international law and UN resolutions. This could involve options such as repatriation, compensation, resettlement, and rehabilitation, with the goal of addressing the legitimate rights and aspirations of refugees while ensuring Israel's demographic stability. Water and resources: equitable sharing of water resources and natural resources, recognizing the needs and rights of both Israelis and Palestinians. Sustainable management and development of water infrastructure could be pursued through joint initiatives and regional cooperation. Economic development: comprehensive economic development plans for both Israel and Palestine, with a focus on poverty alleviation, job creation, and infrastructure development. International assistance and investment could play a crucial role in supporting the economic viability and stability of both states. Reconciliation and coexistence: promoting mutual understanding, tolerance, and reconciliation between Israelis and Palestinians through educational programs, cultural exchanges, and people-to-people initiatives. Acknowledgement of past grievances and injustices, along with a commitment to peaceful coexistence and respect for human rights, are essential for building trust and fostering long-term peace. In summary, achieving lasting peace between Israelis and Palestinians requires bold leadership, sincere negotiations, and a willingness to compromise. By addressing the root causes of the conflict and pursuing a just and comprehensive resolution, Israelis and Palestinians can pave the way for a future of peace, security, and prosperity for generations to come.